I have an 8-year-old autistic son. He was diagnosed this year. And if he were 1 years old again, if I could go back in time, I would do three things differently. On this video, I'm going to share with you what those three things are so you can start parenting your autistic child, your neurodivergent child with a lot more peace that why I had when he was 1 years old. Hello, my name is Marcela Collier. I am a certified parenting coach, founder of HIC Parenting Education Agency. My team of coaches and I have served 14,151 parents of sensitive and neurodivergent children break free from angry reactions, bring peace to their parenting, and start their children with a lot more peace and accountability. If that's what you want, then I encourage you to subscribe to my channel. Okay, you are going to feel a lot less stress once you know these three things. I think, or at least for me, if I think about me, if I could go back in time and do these three things differently, I would have parented my autistic son with a lot more peace, less stress, less overwhelm, a lot more connected. So, yeah, let's start. Number one, I would focus on understanding my autistic son's needs instead of trying to look what's wrong with him. He's a twin, and it is so hard to not compare him to his twin. But that's when I started seeing that things were going the opposite way, not the wrong way, as I was thinking at that moment. There is something wrong, but a different way as my neurotypical twin son. While the other one was very focused on trying to crawl, trying to stand up, trying to communicate with us and engage with us, my autistic son was more focused on seeing how the door opens and closes, how the fan turns, how the lights go from one side to the other in his Leo mobile. Was it wrong? Is there something to fix there? Now that my son is 8 years old, and after parenting him for 8 years, I know that there is nothing there to fix, but a lot to understand. If I would have known that it is not about fixing him, it's not about finding what's wrong, because there is nothing wrong about being autistic. It's just a different way his brain functions. His brain functions differently and sees and engages differently. And there is nothing right or wrong about it. Last week, I went to a field trip with my twins, with with their class. And then on the field trip, they had little playstations where the kids would come as a group, play a game cooperatively, and then go to the next station once they were done with that. I saw my neurotypical son. He took the lead and he was leading the other kids on how to build the perfect tower in one of the stations. While my autistic son, he was coming in and out. For 2 minutes, he would engage and put a little block on top of the tower. And then the rest of the time, he would go somewhere else. He was very curious about the cool patterns on a door. That door had really cool Native American patterns. He was very focused and drawn to that. And then I posted on the stories on Instagram, who is playing right? My neurotypical son or my autistic son? Both of them are playing right. They're playing right for their needs. They're playing right for the way their brain functions. They're playing right for how they want to engage in play. There is nothing wrong about how my autistic son engages. So if I could go back in time when my autistic son was 1 years old, I would feel a lot more relaxed by knowing that my job was not to fix my son, but to understand my son and to support him so he could grow up safe and secure. I became an expert on his needs, and that brought so much peace to me because I started engaging him with safety, security, confidence instead of overwhelm and frustration. Now, as a parenting coach, I've done this the last 4 years. I've seen so many of our clients in HIC parenting going from frustration, overwhelm, confusion, feeling like they are failing their neurodivergent kids to parenting them with a lot more peace just by gaining understanding of their children's needs and of their own needs as parents as well. I have something for you to start today, feeling more confident and secure, raising your neurodivergent and sensitive children. It is my free class where I'm going to share with you the parenting with understanding system of needs to respond with what your children need at each moment. You are going to know how to remain secure during your child's chaos. You are going to know how to communicate to them in a way they understand you, and you will feel a lot more confident that you're raising an emotionally healthy child, even if they have a neurodivergent brain, even if they are sensitive kids, even if they're neurotypical. This class works for all parents. To access this class, just go to hicparenting.com. I'm going to leave a card here, up here on this video, or in the description of this YouTube video as well. Open the description box and the link is there. It is a free class and you can start your transformation today. Number two, if my 8 year old, if I could go back on time when my 8 year old was 1 years old, I would I would do something differently. I would start accommodating and planning in advance on how to meet his sensory needs. Because he is autistic, he has a lot of sensory needs. So sounds are very he's sensitive to sounds, he's sensitive to crowds, he's sensitive to lights, he's sensitive to too many changes. Now I know that if I want to have a successful outing, it has to be just one outing. My sister-in-law, she turned, I don't know, I'm not going to tell you how many years she turned, but it was her birthday and she invited us for pottery plus going to a restaurant. So from pottery, we were going to go to a restaurant. And we told her, hey, we have to choose one of the two, because my autistic son can, right now, one is what he can handle. That would have saved me so many public meltdowns if I would have known that when my child was one. It would have saved me so much. I remember going from the store to the bank to the restaurant, like going to more than one place and having a full blown meltdown at the restaurant because my son struggles with those too many changes in a day. So that's number two. Number three, and this is a big one, I would have felt a lot more confident and peaceful and less stressed in my parenting if I could go back in time when my son were one. I would not compare him with his twin because I used to compare him a lot. His twin brother is already saying this and this amount of words. His twin brother plays with other kids. His twin brother is potty training, no problem. His twin brother eats more. His twin brother eats more variety. I hope I said it right. Variedad. Más variedad. Ay, 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 ay. I learned through these 8 years parenting an autistic child that it is a disservice to them and a disservice to you to compare them with their neurotypical kids, siblings, even with their autistic siblings, because no autistic child is the same. If you didn't know, I'm autistic. And if I compare my son to me, we do share a lot of things, but there are other things that my son is cool with being in car rides. I don't like car rides. I don't like them. I don't like cars. I don't like movement. I don't like him. So comparing them is a disservice, and it just fills us with anxiety, and it makes us not be as patient because we want them to raise up to the standard of the neurotypical children. And that's not just. So those are the three things that I would have done. I would have focused more on understanding my child instead of trying to fix him. I would have planned more on accommodating the needs in advance. And I would have stopped comparison and start parenting the child that I have in front of them. If this video helped you, would you share it with your spouse, with your mom, with your sister, with your best friend? Send it to one person. 1%. You don't have to send it to two. Send it to one person and let them know, hey, this video helped me. And I'm very curious. I'm very curious. Do you do any of these three things that I used to do? If yes, which one it is? Let me know in the comments. Let's support one another. And I want to let you know that it only takes understanding of yourself and of your children's needs to transform your parenting. I'll see you next time.